So how you doing? Oh, we've been busy today. So you know how we had all that wood at the other house? Not anymore. So I got the last load of it today. Let me show you. I think I took things a little too far. Yeah, I jammed her on there pretty good. My issue wasn't just the trailer load though. I put it in the truck too. So I didn't have trouble going down the road. You can see the snow blowers on there, the swing sets on there. But yeah, I didn't have so much issues going down the road, except like a hill. I mean, I was in second gear on any kind of a slope. The main issue was getting it stopped. There was a lot of momentum here. Like I could feel the suspension flexing in the front of the truck every time I tried to slow down. So I went really slow. A 40-minute drive turned into an hour, you know, but we got her here. Now this is what I'm doing with our firewood. This is that maple tree we dropped. There's just a little bit more. Zoom you in up there. You can see there's just a little bit more up there. But yeah, that's what we're doing with it. We're doing the round stack. This is just the start of it, because all of that is going to get put onto here. There's a little bit of wood down there that already got split that's going to get added. And then we got that oak tree coming down. So this pile is going to get bigger and bigger. Like you see how the row is. I'm probably going to come out 2 more rows until I call this done and then stack it as high as I can. So just to give you an idea of how big I plan on making this. And then I plan on having a few of these stacks at different places, you know. So, you know, this one here is close enough to the house that we could carry it in if it got a deep snow or something. But the fire pit's right here too. So, you know, it's all right here. This outside edge is the only one stacked. This center stuff, it's just the stragglers and stuff, you know. Which I think we got all the stragglers in there now. So from here out, it'll get a nice stack in the center, you know. But we just kind of tossed all them in there. And then from here out, it'll end up getting stacked. I've seen where people kind of create a tunnel up through there to help it breathe. But I'm not. I'm just doing the stack and tossing it loose in the center for the most part. I mean, from here out, I probably will stack it. But yeah, that's what we're doing. But I'm hoping to have a few of these stacks around the property that we can pick from. So like there'll be probably 2 stacks down here, because that's where we're doing our trash load, is down there. So there're probably gonna be 2 of these down there. And I'm hoping to have one here and one on the other side of the tree. So, you know, and these are gonna be close enough that I can just carry them right in the door if need be. So that's the plan. But there she is. The maple tree's getting all stacked up. And we got a sketchy load on the truck. All right, so we're in the shop here. And we're gonna do a little, well, experimenting. So I'm going to take a design of a muffler. You know, it's the Iron Horse muffler. And they have a reputation of being one of the loudest mufflers out there. So I'm going to see if I can tame down the volume of the muffler without hindering performance. So that's kind of what I'm doing here today. So what I'm going to do here is I got a saw here. We're going to fire it up. It is stock, so we're going to hear it with the stock muffler. Then I'm going to bolt on this muffler, and we're going to get to hear it with the Iron Horse muffler. And then I'm going to modify it, and we're going to get to hear it after the modifications. So, you know, you tell me if you can notice a difference. I'll let you know what I think, but it's going to be kind of hard just because of the amount of time between them. You know, it's kind of hard for me, you know what I mean? So we're going to hopefully the video catches it, you know? Now, we are in a metal building, so that might actually be beneficial because you're going to hear the building as well. And maybe between the 3, you can hear a difference, you know? So it might end up being beneficial. So let's go ahead and get a a start here with this saw. It is factory, it is not ported or anything. We're just gonna fire it up and we're gonna see how loud the 3 different mufflers actually are as best as we can by video. Alrighty. Now I got a little update for you on the XL76 project here. Bodie's saw is ported. Actually, the cylinder and everything are in the house because I just cleaned them. But the first cylinder, his original cylinder was no good. So once I cleaned the carbon out, I noticed that there was some plating chipped off of the cylinder above the transfer, but still above the exhaust port up in the actual combustion chamber, pretty close to the top. There's a piece of plating chipped off. So it probably came from excessive wear because of how it had so many leaks, throwing so much fuel in it to try to compensate for the leaks. It had a, what would you call it, an excessive charge, which was creating higher combustion chamber pressures, you know. So it probably caused it's probably what caused the plating to flake off. Now the crappy part is that I had that cylinder almost 100% finished until I realized that the plating was off. So I actually ported that cylinder, and then I had to take another cylinder and port it. Now, you know, it's actually the cylinder I'm using is the one that came off of this saw, the one that I was tearing down to build myself. Now, I ran into issues with this one. It's got a bad crankshaft. I got to tearing it apart, and I don't think you can see it, but there's wear on the crankshaft, and there was a lot of play. Now, this crankshaft is bad, the bearings are bad, and the connecting rod's bad. The only thing still good is the piston and cylinder, so I took the cylinder off of this and used it for Bodie's saw, and I actually have another whole crankcase that is sitting at the other house, so I'm going to try to grab it next time I'm in there, and then I'll use the bottom half of it to do my project. So this one here is spare parts. Everything you see here is just going to be spare parts. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use a different crankcase for mine. But in the meantime, I got Bodie's ported up. It's actually waiting on me to assemble it at this point. So that's where we're at. All right, so I don't have the camera facing right at the saw. I'm doing that on purpose because I think if it was right up at the muffler, it'd probably screw with the microphone. So, you know, we're going to try it this way. All righty, let's see if we can get it fired up. All right, now I'm going to take the muffler off, and I have one of the iron horse style mufflers already made right here. We're going to bolt this on and see what happens. Changes in tune, anything. We will know if this saw automatically goes a little rich just by bolting this on. We'll already know that it's probably going to produce a little bit more power just by bolting this on over the factory muffler. So, you know, we're going to want to watch that as it goes. So we're going to watch how the tune changes as we go. So if she goes a little rich, I'll have to lean it out to make it run right. But after the modifications, I want to see if it changes from, you know what I mean, each step. So, and I will tune it through the process. So here we go. Let's put the iron horse muffler on. All right, the iron horse muffler is on. And let's take note if we notice any tuning changes or volume or anything. right, so definitely louder. I could tell a difference, but it's kind of a cool loud. You know what I mean? Definitely a situation where you have to wear earplugs. Without earplugs, it's a little annoying, but I think it sounds kind of cool like that. It's got a nice tone to it, you know? So let's see if we can muffle that a little bit or change the tone of it or something and do a little modification and, you know, let's see what happens. I did have to lean it out just a little bit on both the high and the low, maybe an eighth of a turn on both screws. So it is just a little leaner now, which tells me it's probably recycling some of the exhaust gases that usually get expelled out the muffler and pushing them back in at just the right moment, probably, or hopefully, that you know, it would actually probably produce just a little bit more power this way. So definitely an improvement over the factory muffler. I can tell just from that. Now let's modify it and see what happens. All right, I got the modification. It's not 100%, but I'll come back and touch up the welds afterwards if it seems to work right. This is what she looks like. Can you see up in there? I basically drilled a bunch of holes and welded a bigger pipe on. That's all I did. So let's see if this makes a difference. Alrighty. Okay, we are actually several days later right now, and I think I made a mistake with the modification by leaving the end of it open. So I closed it and welded it to look as ugly as I possibly could. So yeah, so I got her kind of closed off now. That way I got like an empty chamber here, and hopefully that empty chamber does some noise canceling. We're gonna find out. This will be take 2 for trying to make this muffler quieter. All right, she's installed. Let's get her started and see what happens. So I cannot tell. It's been a couple of days now since I did this mod, so now it's hard for me to tell if it's, you know, better than the first way. I can tell you it's still loud. It's still loud, but it's definitely more pleasant sounding now. I think it might have tamed it down a little bit. We're gonna find out though. Let's throw these clips up. right, so I can't tell difference between this and just leaving it with the pipe. I can't at all. No difference at all, really. So, hey, take it for what it is. I might make the pipe a little bit longer and maybe put a bend on it or something. I don't know. But as of right now, I liked it the way it was. So, hey, take it for what it is. You know what I mean? So, hey, we'll catch you on the next one. Later.